Chet, the sales doctor. How we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing fantastic. I got my prescriptions in this morning. Doctor's orders are in session, ready to rock.
Love that. Happy belated Halloween out there to everybody. Look at this stuff. Come on, I got witches on my chest. I got pumpkins. Where's your holiday spirit, Chet? Do I see it? I don't see it.
I am going at my costume is an avid cold caller. So that's my costume. I'm logged in, I'm ready to go. I got the headphones. I got the microphone. I got the lighting. We're ready. Got the vibes. Ready to rock.
Okay. Good. I love that. Good things today. So we're going to be jumping on and making some calls on Kixie today. Big shout out to our sponsor for the show, Kixie, your all-in-one telephony solution. But more importantly today, we're going to be using Kixie's power dialer to make a lot of phone calls in a short period of time. This is a really, really critical concept that a lot of teams, and correct me if I'm wrong, miss, right? The idea of a lot of people put the emphasis on, let's get like a database with a lot of leads in it. Let's get some sequencing tools so we can like send them a bunch of emails and stuff. And then, for calls, like we'll just have the reps, pick up their phone and dial one by one. But you would know as well as I do, being an outbound sales pro, people don't pick up their phones as much as they used to, huh?
No, not at all. You have to supplement it with a lot of other things, but the phone is still where I find the main form of contact that happens because it's the quickest way to get a response. You're going back and forth. It's not like a big, long email chain where it's taking you 2 to 3 weeks to have a 5-second conversation,
That is right. So I'm still finding that the phone is a primary acquisition channel for a lot of businesses, particularly the businesses that I work with. But it's process and it's technology. So technology, when it comes to tech, Kixie is pretty fantastic. You guys need to check it out if you have not checked out Kixie. I have a unique link I will put in the comments right here. We can check it out for free and access special pricing as a thank you for tuning into the live show and the podcast following up. By the way, that's a shout out real quick to the podcast. If you guys go search Hop on Calls, you can hear the best moments from today's show and every other show we've done. The podcasts are short, quick, and really, really helpful if you're trying to get better at outbound sales, cold calling, all of the like. All right, Chet, who's first today?
Who's first? I don't know. Should we start dialing? Should we get in the queue?
So
I got my queue fired up. My list is ready to go.
I'm gonna get it fired up here. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit go on my list. Change up for today. For those of you who have seen the show before, I'm gonna be doing something different. I usually call for myself. So Kevin Hopp Consulting Group, I call founders and I talk to them about Hopp Consulting Group and calling culture and like the consulting work I do. I'm gonna change it up. I am working with a client right now called Uncommon Giving. They have a platform that allows for companies to really easily enable nonprofit giving of time and money to nonprofits, right? So I'm going to be calling on behalf of this client. And I think that the pitch is going to, number one, I've been working with them for a while. We've kind of nailed the pitch. We've set a lot of meetings with their team, which is really good. But calling HR people, this is going to be a different conversation. And that's why I wanted to bring this in, because it's going to be a very different conversation, probably a different style of cold call a little bit than calling founders, which I normally do here. So I'm going to get this fired up. Can anybody make a comment in the stream? This is a little bit strange that we've had no comments in our stream here yet, Chet.
Yeah, all these attendees and no comments. So maybe we need to up the ante a little bit. Are we good to jump in the queue then? I got my Kixie dialer pulled up. I got my script, my objection handling card, my note-taking materials. Good to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
You can jump in, and then we'll see who gets the conversation first. All right, Rose Rogers. We know somebody's here, which is exciting. I'm going to hit go as well on my end. Once again, it's going to be a bit of a different pitch for Uncommon Giving. All right, there we go. We have some live participation here. Good. Happy to see that people are tuning in. Hope we have a great show in the waiting here. Hey, Bonnie, this is Kevin with Uncommon Giving. How you doing today? I'm all right. I was actually looking to speak with Ngok Do. Do you know if Ngok Do is working today? Okay. Ooh, fun fact. I am talking to the Seattle Mariners right now, and I'm trying to reach their head of employee engagement. Ooh. How do you pronounce his name, Chet? Ngoc. How would you pronounce that name?
Neok?
Neok?
Isn't the G silent?
Knock.
Depends.
Okay, I got her.
Knock knock.
Yeah, it's Knock.
Kevin Hopp.
Okay, got transferred to her voicemail, which was nice, but do. All right. I am waiting for a pickup here. So, Chet, what are you pitching today? Talk to us a bit about your target audience and what you're pitching.
Yeah, I'm dialing right now too. So trying to make sure that I'm paying attention there. So right now I'm going to be talking to people as the sales doctor. Essentially what we do is in times of economic downturn, we help people get more with less when it comes to their salespeople. So that could be training, it could be coaching, it could be in-person events like SKOs, RKOs, AKOs. Obviously walking into Q1, that's a really big thing. So coming in, doing workshops, live trainings, Q&As, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about everything you can think of from sales to sales leadership.
Yeah, I was looking to get connected with Mary LaFontaine, please. Yeah, it's Kevin with Uncommon. Ooh. This list so far, I'm getting a lot of these gatekeeper type folks, which is, this is realistic. Everyone out there, you probably are talking to gatekeepers from time to time, but I thought that I would get a few more direct.
Hi, happy Tuesday. Let's go. Yeah, I need to speak to Michael Morris, please. I can take his voicemail. That's fine. Okay, yeah, tell him Chet from the sales doctor called. He's got my number. Ooh, correct. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye. Yeah, he's got my number because he's got the email that I sent him. He knows where to find me.
My number. Wow. Yeah. That's one I've never heard before.
What do you think she's going to remember all day long? His executive assistant. What do you think she's going to remember all day long? Everybody said, yeah, this is so-and-so from so-and-so. Here's my number. Have him give me a call back. Or he's got my number. He knows who I am. I've been here.
Wow, that's a really good way to like instantly sound very credible, right? And kind of build that close relationship with the gatekeeper right out the gate. I like that. I like that a lot. Wow. Never heard that one.
Familiarity wins fans.
Jeez. I'm actually going to write that down.
That's why there's bandwagoners, right? So it's all action by association. Familiarity. Act like you've been there.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Kevin with Uncommon here. Yeah, Lisa, I know I'm calling out of the blue here. Did I catch you with a minute to have a cold conversation? That's a great question. Well, it's a cold one because we never met before, but I'm with an organization called Uncommon Giving. And, we work with people leaders a lot like yourself that are trying to build a value-driven employee experience by enabling their staff to give back to nonprofits in their community. So the specific question that I have for you, would you say that you're satisfied with how much your staff participates in giving back initiatives today? Okay, so as a company, right, from the Alamo's perspective, you guys don't have a structured program for enabling giving back? Okay. Okay. Fantastic. A lot of our best customers didn't have a program in place or a structured kind of way that they did giving back. And they didn't really understand or didn't know that Uncommon Giving, which is a platform that makes this super easy and structures it in a really easy to use way for the front and back end. They didn't know that that existed. Have you guys thought about looking into programs like this? We're seeing that enabling employees to give back actually does build on some of the things that a lot of us are looking for, which is employee engagement, that value-driven employee experience. Fantastic. So I'm going to email you a link to our website with a bit of information. It's lpen@diamo.org. Okay, I can do that. I will send that email. Lisa, the point of me reaching out today was to see if we couldn't schedule a high level introduction. We've established here that you don't have a program in place today. We generally work with folks like yourself that don't have a program to help them understand their options and think differently about how to engage their staff. Would you have a few minutes, maybe near the end of the week, maybe Friday?
Lock it down. Lock it down.
Okay, so the deeper we go into Q4, you're going to free up your time. That's kind of the opposite of what I've been hearing. That's the opposite. Today's not the day. I totally understand. So, Lisa, what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with this information as you requested. But also, what makes me weird and unique is that I do kind of follow up with people. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a call, to see what you thought of the information later this week. And then if you read, what I send over and want to reach out to me, that would be fine as well. But we are just hoping just to have that introductory, get to know you, very high level thing. We're doing it a lot in Q4 because we understand it's like open enrollment. There's a lot going on, but in Q4 particularly, ahead of Q1, because Q1 is that deluge of every vendor and every person you never met calling you. We don't want to be one of those people that waste your time in Q1. So I'll follow up with you, but check out the email on your way now. Cheers.
All right, get in the conversations. Let's go.
That's annoying.
What an anomaly. I'm going to have more time at the end of Q4. Oh, you taking a nice vacation? What's got you freeing that up? What an anomaly, right? I'm like just starting Q4 planning right now because now we're in November 1 and it's like, hey, let's start. And the next week, everybody's going to present stuff and then we're going to recalibrate and go from there. And it's like, yay, I don't see this getting less busy.
Yeah. I mean, so you got to understand your persona and your market. It's just a concept I've talked about a lot on this show. Know your buyer, know your prospect. So I understand that she runs a division of HR for this company. And right now, for HR people everywhere, is open enrollment.
Yeah.
Okay? So open enrollment for benefits is a big time. It's a busy time. So part of what I'm trying to do, and you kind of heard me say that at the end there, is like weave in the idea of I understand that it's open enrollment. I understand it's busy.
Yeah. Love that.
Going to try and kick me to Q1. Here's why we should probably talk now. But Lisa was just kind of stiff arming me like hardcore there. She would not.
Yeah, she was not having it. I'm in the dialer, by the way. So if I pick up a call, I'm not interrupting you, just so you know. I mean, you're the outbound alchemist. You know what it is.
That's right. That's right. I had that as my LinkedIn headline, the outbound alchemist. I had that for like over a year, and I had some friends give me so much crap about it, saying, "What is an alchemist?" that I took it down. But it's funny because certain people know me as the outbound alchemist. Ooh, boom. Colin Mitchell, how we doing today? Ajinkaya, liking the tactics. Good stuff. Very good stuff. I'm going to jump back into Q2.
What's here's my number?
I think he's referencing the conversation you had where you said he has my number. I think that's what that's about.
Oh, he just because he put here's my number.
So I'm looking for Wendy.
Is there a number there? Is there another one?
Thank you.
Let's go.
Come on.
Come on, Wendy.
Uh-oh. Got kicked to her thing. This phone too.
How do I double tap? Just hit the redial target in the bottom right?
That's what you do.
Okay. Because there's like two different screens kind of working from. There's the dialer and then the...
That's right. That's right. Whoa. I got a call. It just picked up, and it's playing hold music in my ear. Like immediately. Like no one said anything. Big shout out to Chris over at Plural Site. Chris, how we doing today? Good to see you here. Chet and I are hitting calls.
So weird how so many of these companies, it's all about the data. And sometimes I second guess my data. Because I get these weird ones where I'm like, is this a solopreneur maybe? It might be. Because that's a very odd way to have your system set up. It baffles me companies that are of notoriety that have something that says like, hey, this is who we are. We didn't answer the call. Please leave a message.
Yeah, right. Okay. Chet, you mentioned you are just now doing your Q4 planning, so you must be a month off with your fiscal year, right? Chet.
Yeah.
Are you a month off with your fiscal year?
Also,
you mentioned you're doing your Q4 planning right now, or were you just saying that because like that's what the prospect was doing?
Yeah, Q1 planning is happening now. And obviously, there's 3. That's what it is.
Makes sense.
All right, you know what? If I'm not getting where I'm getting, then I'm going to hang up and go to the next.
Shout out Chris mentioning the course that I have. I have a course on cold calling. You guys can go to my LinkedIn profile and find that. But one of the main tenets in the course is fat stacks and the circle backs, meaning follow-ups are where you find a lot of gold. What do you think about that, Chet? Do you preach a follow-up strategy?
Oh yeah.
For teams?
Oh yeah. We target every quarter.
Retarget every
happy Tuesday. Thank you. I need to speak to Connor, please.
Let's go.
Folly, Folley.
Come on.
Thank you. Insert Jeopardy music. I had to find the mute button before I said that. New tool. Learn all the things. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not being transferred, but I'm here in silence. Did I lose you? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, then I might be dialing the completely inaccurate company. I apologize about that. No worries. Thank you. Egg on face. Do we say company names on here? I don't think we should say company names, right? Probably already blew it by saying the guy's last name.
We try to say as little as possible.
Got it. Well, I was trying to call a software company and I got in touch with a law firm. So we're going to have to send that one back to the data team. The data team being the people that are contracting for me.
Yeah.
That's what happens with delegation, man. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. You got to be comfortable doing it. not going to sit here and put together a list of 3,500 people to call. I got kids.
No. Dude, you got kids coming out of your kids. You got kids on kids. How many kids do you have? Do you have 5? You have 5 kids, don't you?
3 kids.
Okay. That's a lot.
If I had 5 kids, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
Well, I have 1 kid, and I feel like that's a lot. I feel like I'm overwhelmed most days. So incredible that you make it happen. Speaking of kids, let's talk for a second about Colin Mitchell having 4 kids. Gee. Dad of the century here, Colin Mitchell.
Yes, back to the follow-ups, though. I'm here in the queue. Hey, happy Tuesday. From Chet, the sales doctor. How you doing, Dan? Yeah. Yeah, hey, I was reaching out to you, see if you had a quick minute to have a conversation about next quarter. Did I catch you at a good time?
Let's go.
You don't like how casual the conversation is? I respect that. Okay. All right. Hung up. I don't appreciate how casual the conversation is right now. Hey, that's what we're going for. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. That's all right. I'll take it. That's a good connect, though. I think that's actually the first person that I've connected with live, but 49 dials in.
Wait, so his comment was, I don't like how casual this is?
Yes, he said, I don't like how casual this conversation is. He was a real sweet guy. He sounded real sweet. Like he was like, he's like, Chet, okay, happy Tuesday from who? It's Chet, the sales doctor. The sales doctor? Okay. He's like, what can I do for you? Well, hey, did I catch you at a bad time to have a conversation? That was a little bit of ill preparation for me. I probably could have handled that one a little bit better.
Because it popped up and you've been calling, right?
Yeah, no, because I think it was basically like how casual it was on the other end around, where he was just like, all right, what do you want? It's like straight up, like no BS. Okay, well, this is what I want. I guess, did I catch you at a good time? Have a conversation?
Well, you bring up a good point. I always try to teach people to be very conversational and be very friendly, because the more friendly your tone, the more the prospect is going to think, and they're going to stop and they're going to be like, do I know you? Do I know you? And I want them in this state of mind of going, oh, Kevin. I know a Kevin. I don't know a Kevin at Uncommon Giving. I don't know what Uncommon Giving is. I want their brain very curious. Now, if you skip that, which you were so warm and fuzzy that this guy was saying in his head, this guy is acting like he knows me. He very clearly doesn't, right? And so it went to stranger vibes like really quickly the other way. And you never know, that can happen. Certain people are going to be more sensitive to it than others. But
I got to say real quick.
Yeah.
This is my first time using Kixie, and total plug for the show, but this is incredible because as someone who has been in a front facing role, like I don't make 100 cold calls a day for Sales Doctor. I'm lucky if I pop off 10. I told you a lot of my selling is through LinkedIn and social selling now, but in the past, when I was making a ton of cold calls as an IC, when I was training SDRs in a cold call culture, like 55 dials in 20 minutes, that's freaking nuts. Like,
that's right.
Cold call problems solved. This is nuts. Yeah. Like how freaking insane this tool is. The fact that I already got 2 connects and 1 actual live one within 20 minutes, I think is pretty darn good.
I would agree.
And I'm probably not even using. Oh, okay. I'm probably not even using data as good as what other companies might have.
The data part of this is the hardest part to solve for. Hey, I was looking for Priscilla. Hey, Priscilla. Kevin with Uncommon Giving here. I know I'm calling you out of the blue. I do apologize. Did I catch you with a minute to have a cold conversation? That makes sense. I actually have a meeting at 10:30 my time too, which is 4 minutes away. Is that when your meeting is? Okay. Yeah, I was calling to see if we couldn't schedule an introduction, just a high-level discussion between the two of us. Do you have time later this week and we could do that? Yeah, absolutely. I'm with a company called Uncommon Giving. We work with people leaders like yourself that are focused on building a value-driven employee experience by enabling their staff to give back to nonprofits in their community. So I was hoping to have that high-level discussion around kind of the level of satisfaction that you have with how much of your staff participates in giving back initiatives and how your organization's thinking about giving back next year, just to see if there's any synergy there, if we could align things. Would that make sense for you? Okay. Are you more free Thursday or Friday? Okay, Thursday. And you're in Central Time, right? Okay, I'll put you on for 3:30. I got the email address here, priscilla.witcher@avisure.com. Awesome. Well, I will send you an invite. I'm going to connect you with Melissa on my team, who actually knows a lot more about this space and has been in the HR space for a lot longer than I have. I'm going to connect you with her via email. If anything changes, would you mind letting us know via email for you? Awesome, Priscilla. Well, I just sent over that invite, and we're looking forward to having the conversation on Thursday. Cheers. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go. Let's
We need
go.
we need like a little siren or one of those New Year's Eve things.
Woo, woo, woo. It's that easy.
There you go.
So what's really important there, I tried a bit of a new technique, and this is a new technique that I actually have been like teaching the teams that I coach for only about 2 weeks. When we get close to the half hour, right? When do people have meetings, Chet? On the hour and on the half hour, right? Very common objection when you catch somebody near the half hour or the hour, super common is, oh, I'm about to step into a meeting. I can't talk right now, right? So what did I do there? Did you catch? It was subtle. I said, hey, I have a meeting in 4 minutes. So let's get this done before then. So we had this like unspoken contract where we both have somewhere to be. So we got right to the point very quickly. I gave her a truncated value prop. I positioned the meeting as a get to know you, as a high level discussion. And she said, yeah, we are actually talking about giving back initiatives now. Let's set a meeting.
It's just that easy.
It's that easy. I mean, that was a 2-minute call, 2 minutes, right? And then, one of the things.
This is the hardest part, making the calls.
Yeah.
Making the time to make the calls.
Getting to the point where you make the call is, I think we all agree is the hardest part. Now, are you still in the queue here? You should still be in the queue, right? Nice. I got to make sure to follow up promptly with an introduction to Melissa on the team, because the sooner she sees the invite and the sooner she sees this show up in her inbox, the higher odds that she will accept. I want her to accept before her meeting so that it's fresh. Introduction to Melissa. So you're still waiting to get a connect, Chet? Just checking.
Well, I went out of the queue when you got your call picked up.
Yeah.
Didn't want to step on your toes. You're doing your thing. I don't know if this is a software issue. My connections, I've had one live one, but for the sake of actually picking up, I had more. It says 0 right now on the side, but it has everything else correct. So I don't know if that cleared that out. I'm still in the same. Oh, is it because I paused the session maybe? Right. Yeah. No, I didn't end the session. I don't know. Let's figure that out.
The engagement manager. Sure. Okay. I'm going to jump back in the queue too, because we are trying to set as many meetings as possible. We are trying to get into as many conversations as possible. We are trying to learn things. Hey, if you guys can hear us live, I want to hear in the comments here. Can someone tell me what are you doing differently on the phone in Q4 in these spooky times to have success on the phones? Anybody changing their approach? Anyone taking a bit of a different angle? Love to hear it in the comments. Let us know. Come on, people, pick up your phones. Hitting VMs. People are not picking up their phones. This tends to happen from time to time. Okay.
Okay. That's not what I wanted, but we're going to move on.
So, Chet, talk to me a little bit. About outbound process. So you mentioned earlier that you tell people, "Oh, he has my number," because he has an email from you, right? So, do you warm up every call with an email? How does that work?
Yeah, typically, I'm a fan of deposits, the Josh Braun system. Deposits first, withdrawals. So I don't normally
I'm
do
not
what
familiar.
I'm doing.
Can you go through that a little bit?
Yeah. So eliminate stranger danger by sending some information and resources ahead of time, which is typically just like an intro email. I like to do intro email with a video that like covers the one pager real quick and kind of goes through 1 to 2 points on the one pager under like 90, 60 seconds. It makes me think of Marvel, right? They don't release 2-minute trailers on TV anymore, right? We don't see 60-second trailers even. You see a 15 or 30-second spot that says, go to YouTube to see the full trailer. And then they have a bunch of people that go over to YouTube to watch the full trailer, and then they make a bunch of ad revenue off YouTube as well. So it's like the teaser for the trailer, in my opinion. Okay. So that's what this video is. It's an intro email with a video that covers 1 to 2 points quickly on the one pager. You attach the one pager because now they actually want to read all the other crap on the one pager. And then there's some level of engagement. So then when you call, you're no longer soliciting, you're following up. Hey, I'm reaching out in regards to some information and resources I sent over about managing teams during economic downturn. Okay, now I have business being there. I've already sent you something. This is not just a cold call. This is follow-up. I already sent you some information or resources. It's a little bit different than what I'm doing today, obviously, because we're power dialing. I'm not going through targeted accounts. I'm going through, a wide net campaign here. So a little bit different, but I like that deposit because think about it. If you go to Bank of America, if you just open up an account at Bank of America with zero balance, you go there and you try to withdraw $25, $20, right? Because you can't get 20 bucks. Ugh. Not only are you going to be negative the $20 that you didn't have that they give you, but then you're going to get what they call them, overdraft fees, right? So you don't want to do that with your prospects typically, but yeah, this is it's a little bit different because we're just doing wide net. We're just trying to get some people to pick up the phone.
Well, it's interesting. You're the probably second or third person I've had on the show that mentions that this wide net approach is different than what they do day to day. Because I teach an approach that is doing this day to day so that teams spend more of their time talking and less of their time waiting. So you take the idea of I know exactly who I want to reach out to, and you structure your campaigns in a way that, okay, I've got everybody with a certain value proposition here, certain title, certain value I deliver. I've got another one of those right here. I've got another one of those right here. You can send them emails, sure, but only about 1 to 2% are ever going to respond. So then we go have conversations with these lists. We have conversations like this, right? So
hey, Jeremy, happy Tuesday.
Here we go.
Hey, yeah, I'm trying to reach Kevin. Yeah, no worries. Say that again. Yeah, I can give you my personal line. That's fine. Ooh, I think he has it, but let's make sure. No, I do not. Yeah, Chet. with the sales doctor. Thanks, Jeremy. Have a great Tuesday. They screwed up. Screwed up there. Said the thing that I hate when people say when they get a gatekeeper. I'm trying to reach. Means you're unsuccessful in your attempt because you have no business being there. 9 times out of 10, like I said earlier when I was talking to the first gatekeeper, I need to speak to so-and-so, please. Shows that you have purpose being there. I said that. The second I said that, I winced because I knew I messed up because it came out. I was like, oh, I made a mistake. And where did I go? Take your information, have them call you back.
You knew that was happening. You knew what was coming based on what you told him.
Yep.
It's the truth. So you mentioned the deposit and withdrawal methodology, which I'm actually a huge fan of. One of the things that people are surprised when I talk about, I'm like the outbound sales guy. I'm the cold calling guy, right? Sure. But this is not your only go-to-market strategy. This should not. Any enterprise that's serious about growth, you got to be taking an omni-channel approach, meaning we have to do content marketing. We have to find ways to go to what I call the watering hole. The watering hole in your industry is going to be events, webinars, informational things, talking about like the business challenges on a macro scale, trying to get eyeballs and getting people coming in, right? So taking an inbound approach paired with an outbound approach, paired with an automated email approach, gives you this incredible machine of where your SDRs spend most of their time talking to actual people, and then they spend some of their time answering some emails that come through. Then when they get an inbound, we pick up the phone and we call inbounds. That's another hot take that I have, right? The number of organizations that I've started working with, Chet, that say, yeah, we get inbound leads, and then we put them through the nurture campaign, and then we double, triple check their score inside of the system before we send them to anybody. And then I flip that and I say, hey, from now on, anyone who comes to our website, if they want something, hey, this is Kevin. I was looking for David.
Yeah, there we
go. Oh, that was weird. Wait, I'm gonna double tap that guy.
Double tap.
Double tap. Double tap.
Double tap.
Come on, David.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing that's really lagging in sales culture right now is there's too many one-trick ponies. So somebody might be like really good at cold calling, but they don't know how to multi-thread.
Yeah, I was looking
for
Laura. Hello?
Going for the triple.
Hey, Kim. I was actually looking for David Blake. Do you know if David Blake's available? Oh, okay. All right, I'll reach out another time. Thanks. Oh, that was strange.
Very strange. But yeah, there's like, people that typically move into leadership, they move in because they were good at something. But unfortunately, they're, they were either like an incredible cold caller or they were just great at social selling or something, Very few people can expand on that skill set. And so what I see typically is that people are just like really good at like one specific thing and then everything else is like extra. And it's kind of frustrating because it's like, hey, like cold calling should be the center of what you're doing, but you also have other things that you need to do as well. And other tactics, like you said, like, I've talked to a lot of people that are hiring for heads of sales right now. And they think it's so weird when I talk about how inbound and outbound business from a discovery call side needs to be different. They're like, wait, why? But explain that to me. Okay, so you talk to an outbound lead and say, hey, what brings you to the call today? And they're like, because your SDR called me.
Because your SDR called me. Exactly. Well, to your point, you can talk about, like, I am the cold calling guy. I might be one of those guys that you're referencing here that it's just I lean so hard into cold calling. That's just because I can call my shot, right? Like some people can call, like some people like Jesse Owlett and some of these other folks that are really good at email and they have a whole email system in place. They can call their shot with email. Meaning people hire you as a consultant to get an outcome. You're not going to be around very long. You're not going to get many clients if you can't get good results. You have to be able to call your shot, so to speak, right? Which is, I can tell an organization, look, I can put in process, structure, and technology with training your people to get them talking to people, which gets meetings, which gets follow-ups, which builds market awareness. It does all this. And I can actually execute on that. Boom. Right? Email and inbound marketing and all of that, it's part of a bigger, broader go-to-market. I guess I help solve for a specific problem people have. And the problem is my SDRs don't talk to people. They're not talking to people.
Yeah. But that's okay because you come into companies to do that. You have a specific thing that you're there to teach. I'm talking about SDR managers who just got there because they were good at cold calling, but they didn't know how to do all the other things. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing. People go to those other people to learn the other things that you're probably not there teaching them if you're choosing not to, or it's not in the works, right? That's okay because you work on those contract bases. But when you're a W-2 leader of a sales team and or a sales development team, and you're just like, hey, we're just going to hammer, there are companies I've seen where it's like sometimes hammering the phones just doesn't work because of who you're calling. You're calling content creators on YouTube. It's just not going to work. You can't find Mr. Beast's phone number anywhere. You might be able to call a manager that's connected to an agency, but it's you're not going to break into that. You know what I mean? It's all email and social selling, Instagram, DMs, interacting with content. It's totally different sale than if you're calling logistics companies where, during COVID, that's what we were doing at 3PL Central. We were calling into logistics companies because everybody was still working in office, logistics, warehouse, supply chain. They were not taking time off. They weren't working from home. They still had to work there. You can't just stop supply chain. It definitely, operations were halted, but you can't just completely stop it. And so you had a better opportunity connecting.
Yeah, it is very dependent on, kind of where your expertise was to when you get into leadership. But to your point, a few of the clients I have an SDR manager. They have an SDR manager. The SDR manager is not an expert at cold calling. Cold calling is their primary channel. Therefore, they bring in an expert, So it does make sense. I think one of the things that you hate to see is when people, don't acknowledge that there could be better, right? You want to be able to have a good email strategy. You want to be able to have a strategy for how you reach out to people on LinkedIn as well as cold calling.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Are you in the queue still?
I'm in the queue, brother.
All right. We are waiting a long time for you to get a connect. An awful long time.
I'm getting a lot of business numbers where it's no access to the people that I'm trying to reach, but I have another list that's in here dialing at the same time of cell phone numbers.
It tends to happen. So what are your thoughts on outbound sales through the holidays?
Love it. Everybody's on vacation, man. Try and take vacation. I don't mind taking the call when I'm on vacation.
So you advocate for actually continuing to reach out, continuing to make cold calls and send cold emails through the holiday season, not just taking it off.
Correct. Yeah. Work it. I've done some of my most successful demos as an individual contributor back in the day during the holiday season. Hey, I'm not working Black Friday, but how about the Monday after? Sound good? Who wants to come back on Monday and do a demo? You'd be surprised. Some of those are the best demos because they just had 2 days off in addition to the 2 days of the weekend.
I believe it. I actually am the same. I always advocate that you keep going. And the reason being is a lot of the people that might be much busier during the holidays have a chance to take a demo or have that downtime, to your point, right? So not letting up.
This mailbox is not being monitored. Okay, great.
Chet, I'm beginning to wonder if we have a LinkedIn streaming problem. If anybody out there is watching and you're watching on LinkedIn and it's working for you, can you say hi? in the chat for us. We're trying to make sure that we are still live because I think something has happened. But we will see.
This is absolutely incredible, though. 142 dialed, 44 answered. Obviously, we've only had really 3 conversations, 2 with a gatekeeper and 1 who said my conversation was too casual, so he didn't like where it was going. That was so weird to me. I would be like, okay, so hello, this is Chet from the Sales Doctor. How are you today? Let me lead with the typical salesman script, right? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do from there, but that's interesting feedback. I've never heard that before.
Manny.
Let's go.
Hi there. Is Manny available?
Don't be too casual.
Yeah, I'll reach out another time. No worries. Dang.
But that was like really interesting feedback. You know what I mean? I'm curious what the chat thinks. Have they ever gotten that feedback? Has anybody ever told you that you're too casual? Or you feel like maybe somebody has pushed you off because you were being too buddy personal? I want to hear from the chat, all those cold callers out there. Let me know. Because that was really interesting feedback. But I like it. I'll take that over pushy and salesy all day long.
That is a good thing. Hey Harriet, I was actually looking for
yeah, happy Tuesday.
Is this Mobo?
Hello?
Whoa.
Double tap.
I'm not going to double tap that one. That was really strange.
I'm going to double tap this one.
Do it.
Okay.
That lead's name was Momo.
Momo. Uh-oh.
Momo?
Me no like no Momo.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Aaron letting us know that he's never heard that before.
Happy Tuesday. Hello, can you hear me? All right, we're not in the business of triple tapping, but that is a very interesting exchange. I almost wonder if on the fly I can delete this list out. I don't even want to call companies anymore. Let's just call the cell phones. Aaron said, nope, that was the first time I've heard that. Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
My phone is ringing. My phone is ringing.
Like having managed SDR teams and led them.
Yeah, I was actually looking for I believe it's Aaron, the director of employee engagement. Is that still Aaron? Oh shoot, that's still open, huh? All right, no worries. Sorry about that. Person left the company.
Oh,
yeah, I hate to hear that.
Hopefully they left on their own.
You never know. Have you ever done that? I was coaching an STR last week that ran into that. And what happened was they called somebody that had just been let go from the organization. And when they called that person and said, hey, is this Nancy with blah, 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 Acme Corporation? They said, no, Acme Corporation laid me off last week after 15 years. And I was like, woo, jeez. So it's a tough subject from time to time here.
I mean, hey, like, being connected, like, I think we would have a great opportunity there. Is it too presumptuous to ask them if they want help in landing their next role? Hey, let me see if I can get you connected to some people.
Well, when I call, if and when I call sales leaders, which I have called from time to time, I'll say stuff like that. I'll be like, hey, connect with me on LinkedIn. Like,
I love that approach of walking into the meeting worked for you, because I had heard somebody can't remember where I had heard it, but I thought it was a brilliant tactic. Something similar where it was like, hey, I only have 2 minutes to chat, but real quick. And it sets the tone for that. But I love how you were calling out what they were probably going to call out back to you because of when you were dialing them, walking into a meeting.
Yeah. So that's an approach that I've. Hey, I was looking for Jenna. Yes, Jenna. This is Kevin with Uncommon Giving. Did I catch you at the second to have a cold conversation? Oh, if you have someone like standing in front of you waiting on you, I mean, if you got 2 minutes, that's about all we probably need to talk. Awesome. So Jenna, my name's Kevin once again. I'm with a company called Uncommon Giving. We work with people leaders similar to yourself that are trying to build a value-driven employee experience by enabling their staff to give back to nonprofits in their community, the nonprofits that they truly care about. So the question I have for you, Jenna, would you say you're satisfied with how much your staff participates when you guys do have giving back programs and initiatives? Fantastic. Awesome. Wow. Okay. That's right. That's right. So it's actually a perfect time. Glad I called you. Why don't we schedule a high level introduction? Melissa on my team has been in the giving back space and working with HR professionals like yourself for many years. I was calling to see if I couldn't connect you with her just for that high level introductory conversation. We're doing a lot of that now in Q4 for 23 planning. Do you have a few minutes on Friday? Okay.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So I can, no, and that makes a lot of sense, and I do appreciate that. Either way, Melissa had actually put your company in front of me as a company we wanted to reach out to very specifically. Waiting, 6-7 months to reconnect there. Who knows if we'll actually reconnect, or I don't want to have to bug you. Would you be open to connecting now? I'll let Melissa know the budget thing, but you guys can establish a bit of that know-how around what's going on in the industry and what we have to offer and how that relates to what you're thinking about for next year and the year after. Does that make sense? Yep. That makes sense. So you said Friday is tough. Is Thursday better, or you want to push to Monday? Okay, and you're in Central Time? You're Eastern. Fantastic. What does 1 p.m. look like for you, Eastern? 30 minutes will be plenty. Okay, cool. So I'll do 1 p.m. Eastern. I got the email down. Jay Gray at ACRT Inc. Awesome. All right, Jenna. I'm going to send over this calendar invite for a conversation with Melissa. Once again, just a high level kind of get to know you. I'm going to put a note in here about the budget. But we are looking forward to that conversation. I'm going to connect you with her via email as well, so that you can, if you you can let us know if anything comes up and we need to reschedule, because Melissa's going to block this time on her calendar. So let us know if that doesn't work for you. All right, Melissa. Or Jenna. Sorry, I just read the word Melissa. All right, Jenna, I'll let you go. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers. Come on. Come on. That's 2, baby. That's 2.
You're getting enough for both of us, man.
Yeah, that's the idea. So, what can we learn from that? Right? Very common for people to say is next year's budget's already spoken for. You need to reach out to me in 6 to 7 months when I'm thinking about the next budget. Chet, why would that be a bad idea to reach out to somebody when they're thinking about the next budget?
Hey, that's the beautiful thing about budgets is they're always moving around when something comes along that makes sense. You didn't have an iPhone in the budget until you bought one in 2008, right? You didn't have Netflix in the budget until your friend changed their password and wouldn't give you their new one. But that's the beautiful thing about budgets, man. They're always moving around when something comes along that makes sense. And there you are, showing them why it makes sense. This is why it makes sense for us to talk now. Urgency, interest, all built off of that awareness. Awareness built through cold calling, right? There you go. Doing what email cannot, making cold calls.
So, to your point, hold on, ACR. To that point, the reason that I always advocate for meeting now as opposed to later is because I'm not setting a meeting to sell, right? Like let's take a step back and think about why am I making the cold call in the first place? It's called a cold call because I don't have a relationship with you. It can be a warm call once I know you and once I understand your business and once I have a really good idea of what you're working with and how you try to solve this business challenge in the past. When you make ice cold calls like this, I'm simply trying to go from 0 to 1. And 0 to 1 is you don't know my company. You don't know my name. You never heard of me. And now all of a sudden I call you out of the blue. Let's establish some form of back and forth so we're not ice cold anymore. So it's always valuable to set this meeting and to build your network of people who are prospective buyers for your stuff, even if you're not going to buy right now, right? Which, by the way, like any good sales development rep in person, I'm going to let Melissa on the Uncommon Giving team know that budget is spoken for 23, right? And that's where Jenna was trying to say, hey, budget is spoken for, blah, blah, blah. So Melissa's not going to bring up budget in the first 5 minutes of this call. This call is going to be all about literally get to know you, right? What is your organization working on today? How have you gone about giving back initiatives? Here's what we're seeing. Here's what our customers are having success engaging and building value-driven employee experiences by doing, learning, networking, connecting, going from 0 to 1. That's what cold calling is all about, baby.
There you go.
All right, what's our end tally? 2 meetings for you, boy.
0 for the doctor. I'm gonna have to go take some supplements, man. Zilch.
Yeah, I think.
But I'm happy to say that every call was live and authentic. You can pull the stats from my dialer too, right?
Yeah, we're not gonna do the stats wrap up today. I
got into a classic case of the list that I put in there was probably not the best list because I was stuck in company directories half the time.
Hey, it happens.
Should have just dumped those mobile numbers. So maybe something just stray away from those business numbers then, all those wide net campaigns. Should have just dumped the mobile numbers only because I was doing a mix of the two. I was like, oh, it'll be a healthy combination. But still had fun, man. Love to flex the muscles.
Thanks for coming, Chet. I appreciate you, man. I hope you and your family have a great rest of your week. Let's stay in touch. Everybody tune in next Tuesday. We're going live. Once again, it's going to be an incredibly fun time. Look out. I'm going to send an invite to everybody to next Tuesday's event. This week had lower attendance because we switched to the page hosting versus me hosting. We're figuring it all out. But tune into the podcast to hear both sides of the audio. And a special thank you to Kixie once again for being our sponsor. Have a great rest of your week. Chet, I will see you later, brother.